Hey, how you doing? Pat here. Guess what I'm riding finally? That's right, I got the wife's Tiger out. Don't tell her she's at church right now. Alright, this is going to be my version of, hey buzzard, my version of my first impressions. I mean, I don't even have a mild experience on it yet, and I'm just putting. But stick around, stay tuned, and let's see what I think about this little bike. Alright, here I am cruising in 6th gear at about 57 mile per hour, doing around 3,800 RPM, I guess. And I feel like I'm not even moving right now. I mean, I feel like I'm doing 35, 40. That's kind of weird. And since I'm used to my GSA being so big and tall, I feel like I'm on a super small bike right now, even though this is anything but a tiny bike. That's just my initial impressions of how this bike feels. Well, she flicks pretty good. Now granted, I've got a pretty strong wind today still. We just got done with some storms, but it's a different bike, so it definitely has a different feel than what I'm used to. I'm surprised how noisy these tires are. For being, what in my opinion is a street-oriented tire. The cool thing is, I don't hear the chain at all. Now, that could be because of the wind right now blasting me from my right-hand side. For being a cable-driven throttle and clutch, they are very smooth and very easy to use. I mean, I honestly can't tell that the throttle's not the fly-by-wire that I'm used to. But maybe because I don't have a telelever suspension on this, the front end just feels downright weird to me. I mean, the bike's doing what I want. It's just the front, I don't know, just seems to be not quite as responsive as what I'm used to feeling. Could be normal for all I know. I mean, I assume it's a brand new bike. The likelihood of having a flaw is pretty low. The other difference I'm noticing is with my GSA, I guess because it's so big and I'm not a very big dude at 5'8", 170 pounds soaking wet, that I feel like I'm sitting in the GSA. This, I feel like I'm sitting on the motorcycle. I'm definitely feeling a lot of wind, but I bet the wife didn't realize this, but she's got the windshield in a low position. So push out and up. That made a difference. It really did. I mean, it's still really windy out right now, so the shield's only going to do so much anyway. But out and down, yeah, I feel a little bit more on my chest. So I'm getting quite a bit of helmet buffeting either way, which is to be expected. I mean, geez, that windshield's only about mouth level on me. Yeah, but it won't shut me up. I know it will never come through my GoPro microphone, but I gotta admit, Triumph did a good job of making this thing sound pretty good when you're just engine braking. You just let off the throttle. It sounds pretty damn good. Downshifting right now with the quick shifter, it's a little jerky. I think my BMW's a little bit smoother on the way down. I've yet to try the way up. For me, the levers would have to be readjusted. I don't particularly care for how high they are right now. The brake is okay, but the clutch just seems like it's adjusted up a bit too high for my personal taste. And no, I'm not going to be hammering on it. We still don't even have the 600 miles on it. I'm going to be taking it in Friday for the 600-mile service. Which, oh, by the way, happy spring. Today is March 20th, the first day of spring. For a guy that hates keyless ride, sure is easy to get used to. Got ready to get on the bike, and guess what? No key, no start. Oh, boy. I am such a creature of habit. Anyway, while it's really quiet right now, let me talk about the seat for a minute. The seat is very firm. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. In my experience over the year with cruisers, a firmer seat generally means more comfort over long times in the saddle, to where they're really soft, cushy seats. Yeah, they feel great in the showroom, but they're crap on a long ride. Okay, so where's the mode button? Here's the mode button. I'm in rain. And I think I've got to press this to enter. Yep. Okay, so you press the little joystick to change modes. So we're just going to be in road mode now, which, whether it's this bike or my GSA, in my humble opinion, if you're just in cruise mode, I think that's the best mode to be in, because you get the most comfort. There's no sense being a dynamic with that stiffer suspension when you don't really need it. Yeah, I don't like the location of this clutch, but not my bike. I'm not messing with it unless the wife says something to me. So, but boy, even just in road mode, this little booger is peppy. Can't wait to get her good and broke in to see what it'll do. Wow, I'm getting plummeted by the wind on my left side, and honestly, the bike's handling it pretty good. Just had to go through a learning curve to figure out how to use cruise control back there, just so I could see how well it does. I guess the first thing you do is you got to press set, that turns it on, then you press set again to set your speed. So, not a bad way to do it. I mean, so far it's really been maintaining 60 miles per hour pretty well. Look, Mom, no hand. So let's see about going up this hill. It's a nice little incline. Oh yeah, she's doing pretty good. So, will it turn off if I squeeze the clutch? No. That's a bad thing. Shame on you, Triumph. Shame on you. My Victory was the same way. That's terrible. Just a light tap on the brake, though. Well, that's the second thing that I think Triumph really dropped the ball on. The whole having to stop to go in and out of off-road mode, I think, is one of the worst ideas any motorcycle manufacturer's ever had when it comes to their electronics. I mean, I don't want to stop every time I'm getting ready to turn onto a dirt road and switch modes. Because what I'm used to doing on my BMW, for example, if I'm getting ready to turn up here onto a dirt road, I'm going to go ahead and set it into dirt road mode now before I make the turn. The fact that I squeeze the clutch and the only thing that happens is the engine RPMs goes up, that's another bad thing in my opinion. Shame on you, Triumph. Quick shifter, I don't think it's any better or any worse than what I've got on the Beamer. It's about the same. It's a little clunky, but maybe after the engine and everything's broken in, it'll smooth out. I don't know. I've heard so many reviews say how this is just the world's greatest quick shifter, and you know, it's only the second bike I've ever ridden with it, and it really doesn't feel any different than my Beamer. Let's see what these tracks feel like sitting down. Wow. Wife is right, it does a good job of soaking up some bumps. That was nice. I am getting a really strong left to right wind, which would be west to east because I'm heading north right now, and it's affecting me way more than the bike. I can't believe how little this bike is moving around in this wind. It's impressive. Alright, let's get on this little county road that's notorious for a lot of Amish traffic because, well, a lot of Amish live on this road. But anyway, the bike says it's 46 degrees out, and I haven't had the heater grips on. I've only got my middleweight gloves on, so it's time to turn on the heater grips. You see it's in red here, which means, I'll get leaned in here, which means it's the hottest it will go, so I will report back. Of course, if I take my fingers off the levers, my fingers might not quite be so cold, but sorry, I'm just used to riding covering the clutch and the brake. Okay, I've had a chance to have the heater grips on for a while, and they are on maximum. I can feel them through my gloves, but I mean, they're warm. They're not downright hot like some heater grips that I've used, to where you can't keep it on high for very long. Your hands kind of burn. But here's the thing, to be fair, it could be the way these gloves are made also. This is the first year I'm using these gloves, so I'm not real sure how they respond to heater grips. I'm not even sure if I've used them on my bike to be able to, you know, have an apples to apples comparison for something I'm used to. I have to admit, I like the sound of this engine a lot. They've done a good job of making it sound powerful and throaty. Like some other people I've heard talk about online, they've given it the V-twin sound in a lot of ways without being a V-twin, with that, oh, what are they calling that? The T something or other, T-crank firing order, the 132. But it's pretty good sounding. I can only imagine how much better the new 1200 is going to sound when it comes out later this year. Well, for me, the seat is just a little bit firm. I know the wife likes it a lot, but for me, I would like it to be just a little bit softer. I can really feel after a while it wearing through to the old butt bone. The riding position is pretty nice on this bike. I'll give it to that. I feel very natural, very comfortable. Unlike my Beamer, where I felt like the bars needed to come back more, so I put some pullback risers on it, some ROX risers actually. I don't feel the need with this bike. Alright, here we are at the gas station, the first time I've filled the bike up. It was down to 12-mile range. I put 4.488 gallons in it. Thing is, I'm not sure how many miles are on the odometer. Oh, there we go. 177.8 miles. So let's do the math. 177.8 divided by 4.488 says I got 39.6 mpg. Way lower than what this bike's supposed to get. So hopefully it will get better after things start to break in. Because I know between how I've been riding it, how the wife's been riding it, it's been getting babied. So it's not like we've been hard on it. Not like we've been doing a lot of interstate. Just basically like I've been doing today, some just simple little back roads. Yeah, kind of like my Beamer. It takes the computer a while to figure out it's got gas in it. That's kind of strange why they do that. Well, just threw this thing into sport mode back there, and wow, what a difference in the suspension. Just like my BMW, you really start to feel the bumps now because the stiffer suspension. The mirrors on this bike, like the wife said, are really, really stable. They're very nice. Alright, as I start to head home here, still in dynamic mode, the little thing handles pretty good. Figure I'll just wrap up real quick and sign off for the day for this little first impressions video. Overall, if I was going to give it a score of 0 to 10, meaning 10 I love it, 0 I hate it, I'd give it a solid 8.5. I mean, I really like this little bike. It has a lot of positives to it. My big negatives, I think I've already mentioned in this video, is the fact that when you squeeze the clutch in, you don't shut off your cruise control. The fact you have to come to a stop to go in and out of off-road mode are two major, major negatives as far as I'm concerned. And I guess if those are the biggest problems with the bike, Tiger's or Triumph's done a pretty darn good thing. So anyway, if you would, please give me a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below. And hey, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. All right, see ya.